Celebrity Big Brother bit on the side. So tonight we had a fake democracy dry humping and the most annoying room in the world. Here's a quick recap of what happened on tonight's main show.
This week, the housemates are a democracy voting together to make decisions about life in the house. The only vote that counts is yours. The democracy has decided that the most boring housemate is Linda.
I get out of this room. He's just making himself look stupid, isn't he?
How cool is this?
I love it.
The most annoying room in the world. Lionel, we've got chocolates. Oh my God, and champagne. Oh, that's because it's annoying that we can't get in there.
I like that. That annoying room is brilliant. OK, joining me on the panel tonight, she's a psychologist who's given advice to everyone from potty training parents to obsessed One Directioners. So maybe she can help that one Lee Ryan fan that we still have somewhere in the audience. It's Emma Kenny. OK, if you grew up in the 90s, then this man will need no introduction. He made hundreds of kids' dreams come true when he helped them get their own back on their teachers without setting fire to their cars. It's the wonderful Dave Benson Phillips. Our final panellist doesn't get any more cutting edge and hip than this guy. He's the 2007 King of the Jungle, who's fresh from his sellout show, Panto Show. It's the one and only notorious Biggins, Christopher Biggins!
Very good. So good to see you.
Nice to see you.
You're looking marvellous.
So are you.
I nearly wore that very outfit. Thank God I did.
I was going to say, you're looking very subtle for you,
Well, I know. I
Christopher.
thought I would. You see, I was competing down the... I couldn't compete, rather, down the end there with the sunflowers.
No, you can't,
Which looks
can
really
you?
wonderful. Mm-hmm.
OK, should we get stuck into the show we just watched? Let's do it. My cards are upside down. Doesn't matter, I don't need them. OK, so, Biggins, like Jim, you are a showbiz legend.
Yes.
Are you impressed by the acting skills we saw from him this evening?
I think he's very... you see, I'm one of the very few people who is a really good fan of his. I think he is fantastic. He's a funny guy. He's brilliant. And I think...
one person.
And at least it's one person. But I think he's terrific. And I think he's always a bit grumpy. But that's, I think that's coming over well. I think
part of his thing.
Of course it is. And I think he is a bloody good actor. I thought he was really good tonight. He was excellent.
Well, you seem to like him in here, but they obviously aren't that keen on him in the house because...
Jealousy.
He is facing eviction tomorrow night. Now, he is the decider in the democracy. How do you think, Emma, they're going to react when they find out that it was his task?
I reckon it's going to be a cross between humour and anger, because some of them really just want to have a go at him because he's really annoyed a few people.
Who do you think will find it humorous?
I think realistically, Lionel think it's funny, and some of the younger girls, but I think that Linda will probably be quite annoyed with him.
Well, it's...
Because he's enjoying it. He's enjoying it.
Nice to have paint dropped on you and then forced for God knows how long to literally watch it dry.
That was unfair.
In the mirror. Dave, you are the gunge master.
Well, I've been called other things, but yeah, we'll go with that.
What did you think to that part of it?
I've got to admit, I thought that was that's actually quite sadish, really. I really felt for her, because there's nothing worse than having that slime poured on you and then you've got to sit and just watch it, or in that case, stand and look at herself in the mirror. I thought it was pretty cruel.
It was a nice colour, though, wasn't it?
It was a great
beautiful colour.
Beautiful.
Whoever mixed that colour should come and work for me, I'll tell you. That was some good
They
mix.
fit right in with your shirt.
Oh, it would.
So Jim and the majority of the house put Lee up for eviction, which obviously isn't really, it's part of the task. And Lee himself nominated himself, which is just quite bananas.
Did he really nominate himself?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
He actually nominated himself. How are you all feeling about Lee and Jasmine, the whole kind of love thing? Are you sick of it yet? Are you quite happy to see it play on?
It's getting on my nerves.
So you're over it?
I'm over it.
Are you over it?
I don't like it at all.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it at all. I don't like them being together.
Does anybody want to see it continue? Do you want to see them stay in the house?
100% the more drama, the better.
Is the drama coming from Lee and Jasmine?
Yes.
Not purely from them, though.
Not purely, but they're creating the whole sort of uncomfortable situation with Casey, with Sam, everyone that's sort of like getting their own opinion in. It's...
Who just shouted Casey? Who shouted Casey down here?
It was the love triangle again when they were in the safe room.
Yeah.
He was saying, when I come out again, I'm just going to play it cool. Want to be friends, this and that and everything. Just going back to straight what it was before when he said, I don't want people to think I'm a player.
Yeah.
It's just like, why don't you just say, look, I'm single, I'm just going to enjoy myself in this house.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody think of me. Let's see how it goes. Well, he's not, he's just...
He's gone straight back.
Straight back in it, and you can bet your life, Casey...
Yeah, she'll go straight back again.
Well, we've heard her say tonight, I wasn't bothered. I don't mind.
Can I ask a question?
You're putting your hand up.
I just want to know, what does Jasmine do?
I think she's like
in real life, what does she do in America?
I think...
Does she do saucy films? Does she do saucy
This
films?
is a very handy time to have a coughing fit, I think. She's been in films. I think she might do a bit of modelling. She's kind of like an it girl over there, I think.
Is she?
I think so.
Really?
I wasn't quite sure.
No, I'm not sure. That's why I'm fascinated.
She's been in all types of films.
I'm sure very nicely put.
I think what Biggins wanted to know was... Oh, I see! I just realised what you meant.
Let's get back to Casey. If she hadn't been part of the love triangle, would she still have been a good housemate, do you think, Emma?
I don't know. I think that it's maybe the most interesting part for Casey has been the love triangle. I don't necessarily see that she's got a really charismatic personality. She just moans quite a lot. I think she's really sweet, and I think it's
Lee
awful.
and Jasmine, though.
Yeah, I do.
She seems like quite a nice girl.
No, she seems like a really nice girl. But you asked me, would there be a difference in the house? Maybe not. But yeah, I feel really sorry for her.
And one of the most interesting personality-driven page three girls I think we've kind of had in there, really, for quite a while.
What does that mean?
Okay, so...
What does that mean, Emma?
Jim picked Lionel and Louisa to spend the night together. Ooh. Here's an exclusive look at their rude awakening this morning.
Make it stop.
The baby cries.
That is the worst sound in the world. That sound is why I'll never have more children.
And that's why that room is so brilliant. It is the most brilliant room in the world. We saw Louisa go renegade and she climbed the gates and she nearly kicked Lionel in the head and she got the chocolates and she got the champagne. Are you enjoying, Biggins, seeing her being separated from Jasmine?
Oh, yes, very much so, because I think as a couple, they don't work together. They just egg each other on.
Yeah, and that's when you kind of see them bitching a little bit more, but she's quite fun.
She is. I thought that in that sequence, she was really fun, you know. And I think Lionel was enjoying himself with her, actually, because I don't think he likes her at all. No. But I think he was having a bit of fun with her as well then.
And he was quite willing, wasn't he, to eat the chocolate?
Oh, yeah, drink the champagne.
Yeah, he wasn't moaning about her then, was he?
Well, after all that slush they've been having to eat, poor things, you know.
I know. So tomorrow, it is eviction day, as we know. Emma, do you think her antics from tonight's show is enough to save her?
I really want to save Louisa because she brings so much fun to the house. She might not be popular, but she's strong-minded, confident, and she just makes me laugh. I would much rather maybe Liz go.
Okay. Lord Lionel has gone from being disgusted at Jasmine's finger banging to telling Big Brother to go fuck himself. It's late night. I just said it once. What's going on with Lionel? Which is the real one?
I tell you, I think Lionel is being real all the time. I think he's, he started off, being Lionel and being nice, and then I think he's exasperated. And I think when you're exasperated and you're in a situation like he's in, the F word slides out beautifully out of your mouth. And I think it's just pure, he cannot believe that he's doing this and being surrounded by these people. So tell him to fuck off, It's as simple as that.
He does seem to really be embracing it as well, doesn't he? He's gone in there as a job for a good time.
Absolutely.
He's getting involved, and he's, as you just said, he's doing very well.
I mean, for an 82-year-old man, he's joined in the X-rated task. Yeah. He's having fun with Louisa in the annoying room. He's not getting that annoyed. He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Hear, hear.
Yeah. Hear, hear. Everybody, hear, hear. Yeah. We are hoping that Lionel's son Matt will help us get to the bottom of everything Lionel related. He's going to be joining us, fingers crossed, after the break, if he's got any on time. Okay, now, if you're at home, have something to say, anything you want to get off your chest and get in touch, all the contact details are on your screen now. Right, come tomorrow, there'll be another celeb swapping the comfort of the house for the cut-price glamour of a car park full of a booing crowd. Here are the numbers you need to save your faith. This week, Jasmine, Jim, Liz and Louisa all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 644 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Jasmine, add 04. For Jim, add 05. For Liz, add 09. For Louisa, add 10. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Wednesday's eviction show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/bbvote. To Big Brother's Bit on the Side, the show that's cheaper to make than one of Jasmine's home movies, stronger than Louisa's gag reflex, and almost as long as Dappy's... Let's not go there, here's an exclusive.
Last night, Louisa stole some champagne and chocolates from the most annoying room in the world. Earlier today, Louisa also broke out of jail. Big Brother warned Louisa on both occasions that her actions would have severe consequences. Big Brother takes rule breaking very seriously. All housemates will now suffer as a consequence of Louisa's actions. Therefore, housemates will have no hot water or electrical appliances until further notice. In addition, Big Brother will not be returning housemates' beauty products.
That's a bit much.
Furthermore, due to continued flagrant rule breaking in regards to housemates using beauty products which they should have sacrificed to Big Brother as part of the task, Big Brother will not provide housemates with drinks tonight unless all remaining beauty products are handed in.
Don't give them any drinks anyway! Punish them! Right, it's day 12, and as you know, there's already been loads of touching, feeling, grooming and preening than you would normally find in Sugar Hut on a Saturday night. So here to explain the method behind the celebs' movements is body language expert Julie Jane. So, we're over halfway through the series.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen since you were last in?
I just think this lot of housemates are turning out to be the biggest liars that I've ever seen in Big Brother, ever. Because...
But they all proclaim that they're honest and they're direct and they'll tell you exactly what they think.
But the more somebody says that, the more they're lying, usually. I mean, why would you need to say it? Otherwise, I'm being myself. No, I mean, we've had them set themselves up as warriors. You know, I will speak my mind and I don't care what anybody thinks of me. In actual fact, what we're now seeing is this sort of psychological delayering going on, and we're seeing all their insecurities coming out. And I love it, because what we're getting with the conflict is people that can give it but can't take it. So they're sniping at one another and getting at one another, but it's really hurting. And
it's
that's
really
why it's
affecting
getting
them.
Absolutely painful in there. We're seeing that now.
Last week when you came on, you said that they fell into two groups. So we have the selfies and the self-pities.
Yeah.
Since then, we've had a hell of a lot of arguing.
Yes.
Who do you think is enjoying that the most?
I'm not sure that any of them really are. There's some that are presenting. I mean, Louisa, for instance, I mean, she's very much, you know, she's the absolute warrior woman, isn't she? She couldn't care less. And yet, look how she melts down. First of all, we get the pseudo-infantile baby voice. You know, I'm not doing anything, and the big eyes.
Yeah.
Then we get the tears. And I mean, when they did the nominations especially, she disappeared under a cushion. This is a girl that doesn't care what anybody thinks of her. And Linda had to keep rubbing her hand to keep her nice and calm. They all showed how vulnerable they were during those nominations because a lot of them had got their arms up and displaying their bellies. Some of them were even lying down. Now, that's like an animal that's under threat of attack that wants to avoid being attacked. If anybody's got a cat or a dog, they'll know if it starts to get attacked, they'll often lay on their back and show their bellies. So they really do feel very...
Really?
Yeah. No, don't attack your dog just to find out. But, yeah, it's submission. It's just saying I couldn't fight you. So in the wild, that would mean that the attacker would probably move on and attack something else. Don't try it in real life, though.
Okay, talking about attacking, we've got Lionel and Jim, both in the older group of the house, so both self-pities in the groups that you've labelled them. Why don't they get on? I know they do get on, but then we've had Lionel nominating Jim, and you know, there seems to be this underlying thing going on.
I think there is a degree of role rivalry going on in there, and I think you have to put it into context because back in the day, Lionel was a judge on the talent show and Jim Davidson came on as this young pretender, this young starter. So now suddenly, in a way, in terms of hierarchy and pecking order, Jim's the one that's being quite bossy and Jim's the one that's kind of leading the mood of the house. He's the one that's being grumpy. Lionel probably agrees with him with a lot of what he's saying.
But wants to be the one that's...
Lionel doing it. I mean, what you've got in there is the equivalent to taking Simon Cowell in a few years' time and putting him in a house with Susan Boyle. And Susan Boyle gets bossy. I mean, it just wouldn't happen, would it?
Please make that happen. Judy just said in a few years. Yeah, a few years.
I'll
if we're still here, do you promise we'll have Simon and Susan?
We're going to analyse, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so tonight we saw Lionel, Louisa and Sam discussing how Jim should play it now or what, you know, he might start doing within the house. What did Lionel's body language tell you?
Lionel is lovely, but he does these fabulous micro gestures.
We can see him here.
And you can see his face, he's listening, but look, this complete wrinkle of disgust when Jim's being mentioned. You know, it's as though he's seen a nasty, smelly piece of cheese or something. So although he's so charming and polite, you can actually see, and it was hidden from the others, I think his true feelings of not really liking what he was hearing. You know, again, it should be him that's being discussed and him that's going around acting as peacemaker.
I know he's nominated him, but do you think he really genuinely wants him out tomorrow? Because as much as he nominates him, they do still hang out, you know, they'll have a glass of wine together and, you know, shoot the breeze.
That's it. They've got a lot to chat about. They agree on a lot of the things that annoy them. And I think if anybody needed to go, I think for Lionel it would be the noisy people who will, like a slow drip, drive him mad more than those alarm clocks, I think. So, no, I don't think that Jim's the biggest problem that he's got.
OK, let's talk about the democracy. Tonight, Big Brother made Jim the decider. How do you think he's got on with it? Do you think he's handled it quite well?
He's loved every minute. You know, this guy was a game show host for years, so that's more of his natural environment. I think he's now found a role in the house. And if you looked at him in the diary room, when it was being announced that somebody might be in control, he started to do this lot of tension with the right hand. But the minute he found out it was him, a little bit of a control freak, he completely changed. And he went back into the diary room and he was like...
Look, there's the hand thing.
There's the hand. Yeah. But when he went back in the second time, he was like Del Boy, he was kind of rebooting himself, you know, he was all right after that. So, you know, he was back on top after that. I think the only thing I would say, he's not very good. He goes on a bit too much with his stories. When somebody's lying or bluffing, the big mistake is they often suffer from verbal diarrhoea, and I think he was going into a bit too much detail, but I think he's got away with it, and I think he's loving it, absolutely loving it.
Tonight we saw him give Lee the fake nomination. What did Lee's body language tell you? Because we saw him do a yes.
Yeah. The classic.
Is that a real?
The classic move. I'm so pleased that everybody hates me move. I mean, of course that's a lie. Particularly for Lee, who has got to be loved by everyone. I mean, he was one of the ones showing his belly more than anybody else in there in terms of love me and approve of me. But suddenly he pretends that he's happy. But then we got a change of expression. And what happened was he did the yes, but then he came back up again. He kind of rubbed his hand over his face and then he really did a wince. And that's when we saw the real expression, that it was totally painful for him. So forget all the mock victory roles. He absolutely loathed that. Even though he said he voted for himself, I think he probably thought it was to win. I don't know, but
what do you think? We just saw him punch the air there. Why do you think he's oh, and this is that.
Yeah, this is the face rub.
You can see him looking quite nervous, can't you? Do you think that's because he heard the reaction to the crowd when he came out in the fake eviction, or because he really wants to stay in there?
He's heard the boos. I mean, I think that's the safest place he could be in at the moment. I mean, he's got over all the disapproval from everybody in there. It's quite calm in there for him at the moment until he starts hitting on Sam. Did I see that? A little bit of oh, I'm not really in a relationship. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if he was hitting on Sam, but he was kind of playing down what he'd been saying.
She breathes.
We've got to ban every girl from the studio when Lee comes out of the
She's
house.
Got a pulse. What do you expect?
Judy, thank you so much. Judy James, everybody. Still to come, Lionel's son will be here to tell us why his dad deserves. I can't say this at all. Soft shoe shuffle. It's a real tongue twister all the way to the final. It's very hard. I've seen a bit. Welcome back to Big Brother's Bet on the Side, the show that's more explosive than Lionel's bowels after 2 cans of slop. That was one loud fart he did this evening. I was quite proud. It was very good. Right, speaking of Lionel, joining me now is someone who really is the heir to his showbiz crown. Please welcome comedian and Lord Lionel's son, Matt Blair. It's Lionel's son.
Thank you.
I think he's doing great.
Yes, no, he is. No,
why did your dad decide to go in?
It was a job. He loves, he loves to work. He loves to work, and it was a paid job. And he's just thought, well, why not? You know, and that's why he's thrown himself in so much because he's like, well, I'm being paid for this, and you know, I've got to do this, and he's mucked in.
Yeah, because he could quite easily just kind of sit there, go along with it, and not really get involved, couldn't he?
Oh,
but he's really, you know, you could see from the minute he went in there, he was kind of gung-ho.
Oh, yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
comes his way, he's up for.
He's very personable as well, so he will always, you know, he likes to, you know, not just get involved work-wise, but he, you know, on any sort of like theatre job or anything that he's done in the past, he will get to know absolutely everyone and the crew and all of that. So that's what he's sort of doing here. I mean, if he could talk to the people behind the mirrors, he would.
Do you know what? I actually met your dad just before Christmas. He was in this morning, and he just sat in the makeup room with everybody, just going, "Hey, yeah, what should we talk about?" And he was just very friendly and, as you say, quite you know, personal with everybody, and just mucks in and gets on with it. We've seen a few different sides to your dad since he's been in the house. Which one is the real dad?
Well, a little bit of all of them, really. He does like a row, and so do I, so that's why we get on so well. And Biggins is laughing over there, he knows. And he's so family orientated as well. So I think in a lot of ways he'd like to sort of not recreate a family atmosphere there, but you see, whenever there is a nice thing, like when Dappy and Louisa made up, he was so made up with that because he likes his surroundings to be sort of family orientated and, you know,
and harmonious.
Yeah, exactly. And is there any other side of him? What other weird side? Oh well, the weird sex party that you all put him through. But
was that weird to watch?
No, he's done stuff with Kenny Everett before, so that was tame in comparison.
So that was a walk in the park for him.
He's been whipped by Kenny on TV before.
Been there, done that, whatever, Big Brother.
Fine.
Last night, he spent the night in the most annoying room in the world.
Yes.
How do you think he coped?
Not hugely well, and he'd have been tested. But he also, I mean, loud noise, he can sleep through loud noise. He can really, like, he will put the TV on full volume,
Yeah.
pass out, and when you turn the TV off, that's what will wake him up.
Well, we kind of saw that tonight because he wasn't bothered by the alarm clocks. He
Yeah.
was just like, let them go.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Louise
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, can you not hear this? And he went, no. So he was fine.
Well, he hasn't, I mean, of a man of his age, he hasn't got the best hearing in general anyway. You know, there's so many times where we tell him to turn the telly down because he can't hear it properly or whatever. But any sort of background noise, he will just zone it out because,
Right.
you know, he likes a nap.
So he could zone Louisa out as well, possibly.
He could try. I don't know. Don't know if anyone could.
OK, let's talk about your dad and Jim.
Right.
They've known each other for 40 years,
About
quite a
that,
long time.
yeah.
We know that your dad helped discover Jim on the talent contest
Yeah.
because we've heard that story many times in the house.
Jim
What's
brought
going
it
on?
up.
Yes,
Jim
yeah,
brought it
yeah,
up on like
yeah.
the first night. So
What's going on with the two of them? Because there seems to be an underlying little thing. Our psychologists are like, you know...
There's not people have asked like, on Twitter and things like that. There's not a single moment that has happened that's caused this sort of ongoing. You know, there's no animosity. I think they just have different. You know, they have different outlooks onto their professions. And Dad sort of acts one way, Jim acts another way, and those two ways won't ever gel.
Right.
But Dad respects Jim, like, you know, and that's quite clear. You know, he was able to vote to his face. That's the other weird thing. Everyone's calling him two-faced. Is like, well, he said something in the diary room, and then a week later he said the very same thing to his face.
Right.
And that to me shows an utmost amount of respect that he has for Jim. It's just like, look, you are on form when you're on form, and you know, you just can be a bit miserable sometimes. So that's why I'm voting you again.
Do you think they'll have a row?
I don't think it'll be a blazing row. It'll be an interesting discussion. I think that's the best way to put that.
OK. Early this afternoon, he had a slight bit of beef with another housemate. Would you like to see it?
Go on then.
We are also getting punished because of the
you've lost a
chocolate.
good friend now.
Because of the
You've
chocolates,
lost a good
Lionel.
friend now.
You went to me, get the chocolates, get the chocolates. I didn't even eat the fucking
when
chocolates.
we were in there, darling, that's
Which
a
is
different
also
thing.
why we're
I
being
didn't know I was
punished.
just...
We're also
That's a
being
different
punished.
thing.
I didn't even eat the chocolates. You told me to get the chocolates.
Yeah.
I just went to get the champagne. So don't act all innocent and bitch about
I'm
us.
not being all innocent and bitch.
You are.
You
You're
are being...
bitching
No,
about
you
us.
are being
You
loud
ate the
mouth and
chocolate.
bossy and think you can do what you like.
You
and you
told
can't.
me to get the chocolates.
Then why did
you? Everyone will see it back. You said to me, "Get the chocolates, get the chocolates."
So?
I got the chocolates.
Why did you?
Who ate the fucking chocolates?
Why didn't you say I mustn't do it?
You asked me to get them. I got them.
Am I your boss now?
Did I eat the
Am
chocolates?
I your boss?
Who ate the
Do I
fucking
have to?
chocolates,
I did.
Lionel?
Am I your
Thank
boss?
you.
Am
So
I
you
your
are-
boss?
So we're not just all
You
suffering
are just a
because of
selfish
me.
bitch.
I didn't even want the chocolate. I don't eat chocolate.
Selfish bitches.
How anyone kept a straight face while he's dressed like Tom Baker, I don't know.
What did you think of that then?
That, I recognise that tone of voice.
Has it been used on you many times?
Yes, all of the family, I reckon, at some point. I think it was when I didn't do my homework, I don't know. I think, well, she reckons herself a bit of a princess, if you ask me. And she's got that air of attitude where I say what I like and, you know, I don't care what anyone thinks, but don't say what you think because I'll get upset. And you're just like...
Like Judy was saying earlier, all of them can give it,
Yeah.
but not many of them can take it when
She's
it's
prime example
when
of
it's,
that. She's prime
in your
example
face.
of that because because she is so horrible. If you ask me, she's so horrible, and I don't know. Like she seems to think that she's actually the most special person in that house. And, you know, not to big up my dad any more than he needs to be, but over 60 years of show business and, you know, I can't think of anyone else that deserves the title celebrity more than that man.
Do you think...
Compared to her.
Do you think he can make it all the way?
I think he can make it all the way, yeah. Would you say her or him?
No, her. Him. Your
Yeah.
dad.
Oh, absolutely. How can you not? Look at that face.
Matt, thank you so much for coming in this
Thanks
evening.
for
Matt Blair,
having me.
everybody. So, as you know, Liz, Louisa, Jasmine and Jim are all facing a public vote. But have you ever wondered how they would cope if somebody pissed on their leg? Here's what happened when Rylan hit them with some sticky scenarios.
So, are you ready for your questions?
Yes, hit me.
Louisa, please could you give me the name of your first nomination and your reasons why?
Rylan, he's an arsehole.
Bitch.
I went to Glastonbury. I didn't go to the loo for 3 days.
Are you one of these people that's going to throw yourself headfirst into these tasks? or are
I
you just
love
gonna sit in the
games.
corner?
No. I'm really, really competitive and I really like games. My girlfriends and I do game night like 3 nights a week and I'm just like the loudest, like I have to win.
Jim Davidson, the one question.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you going into Celebrity Big Brother?
There's nothing much else on in January, is there?
I'm not bitchy. I'd be like, by the way, don't get your lips done because your mouth's going to look ridiculous.
All right, Liz, I'm going to do a bit of role play with you now. All right? Razor Ruddock calls you a
Yes.
and then continues by saying,
You fucking what? You fucking what, Jim Davidson? You fucking what? I used to play for fucking Liverpool.
Razor, you've got so thin.
Q.
How can I get offended if I don't know what the fuck you're saying?
Well, another scenario for you.
Go on.
Denise Welsh has her tits out in the jacuzzi.
Or
You're embarrassing yourself.
would you walk out because someone pissed on your leg?
Well, that wouldn't be good, would it?
It's never good, babes.
who's going to piss the bed, for
Well,
Christ's sake?
Charlotte pissed the bed in the summer.
Oh, she did.
Pissed
They won't
everywhere.
have the same bed there now. They'd have
Yes,
dried
your
that
bed.
out. They'd
No,
have dried...
we've saved that bed for you.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, well, that's
We ain't even flipped the fucking mattress, Jim. Julie Goodyear is sucking off a banana in front of you.
Oh! Be like, Julie, stop.
What?
Let me show you how it's done.
Do you think you can win?
No.
Why not?
People don't like women like me.
Well, I'm old. I'm 60 now.
Are you 60? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Hey, you have it done. I've got a number. Sort it out. You'll be fine.
My cat snore.
What?
Yeah, my cat snore.
Is that normal?
We play this one thing called Wise and Otherwise, and it's like ancient proverbs, and you have to, like, it'll say like an old old Greek proverb, and then a proverb, and it'll say like the tree was, and then you have to fill in the blank and try to guess who wrote it and what the right answer is.
Babe, I think you're amazing.
I think you're amazing.
I think you're amazing.
You're you.
No, stop it. All right, I am amazing.
All right.
I like that. It's good. Okay, let's talk about the ones that are up for eviction. In the interest of fairness, we'll spend 45 seconds on each housemate. That's a long time when we hear this noise.
Suck my dick.
Time's up and we'll move on to the next one. Let's start the clock. So Jim has been accused of being a miserable bastard. Emma, has the age gap got the better of him, do you think?
I think he's really popular, but I think he's misogynistic, a chauvinist, and probably is a little bit unfair to quite a lot of people in there, but I think he's going to do really well.
Christopher, is it the generation game in there, do you
I think the older generation are absolutely trouncing the younger generation.
Which makes a change on Celebrity Big Brother.
It does.
What will keep Jim in, Dave?
Do you know what? I don't know. Just himself being himself and less grumpy, I think. Because he is being a bit grumpy, isn't
Will you keep him in?
He's not that bad. It's all because Linda had that vendetta against him and told on the bed, you know, some bad stuff about him. But he's not that bad.
Okay, let's move on to Liz. She received a whopping 8 out of 10 nominations. Let's start the clock. Is Liz an easy target?
Yeah. She's just not really doing much, to be honest, and there's nothing really there.
No?
So,
nothing really there. I love a Brummy in the audience. She is a journalist, Biggins. Do you think this has made it more difficult for her in there? Everyone's
I think
very
so,
wary of
because
her.
all journalists are hated by everybody, and quite rightly so. And I think if you go in as a journalist, you put yourself up for it, and she certainly put herself somewhere up it.
She keeps saying that she wants to
She
go,
wants to
though,
go.
Emma.
Yeah, she wants to go.
Should she go?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Please, because if you keep telling everybody you want to go, then you want to go. Vote her out.
My dick.
Let's move on to Louisa. Let's start the clock. Now, you're a fan.
I am. I'm
Why
sorry.
should she stay in?
Because she's so entertaining. Without Louisa, there won't be the fights, there won't be the drama, there won't be anything. I'm not saying win, let Lionel win, but, at the end of the day, she should stay in.
She got mega boos from the crowd, the last eviction. You are the king of panto, Biggins. What role would you put Louisa in?
The Wicked Witch.
No!
Yeah.
She's not wicked.
Oh, yes, I would.
Dave, where do you stand on the whole Louisa debate?
Do you know what? I think she's a bag of fun. I quite like her. Yeah.
So you'd like her to stay?
Yeah, feisty. I like
That's my dick.
You know what you're going to do? Last but not least, I can't believe that's our lesson.
I've got to play this game at home.
Since Casey's nomination, Jasmine has made a whole point of canoodling with Lee a bit more, getting it on under the duvet. Something's clearly getting on over there. Emma, are you convinced? Let's start the clock. Are you convinced by this relationship?
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, Lee just seems to go, who's the prettiest? Right, I'll go for them. Who's the next one? I'll go for them. And Jasmine is just needy and wants some attention, and she's not getting it from the right places, so she's decided to go off with the easy option, which is Lee.
In terms of a storyline, Biggins, is this a help or a hindrance to her?
To her?
Yeah.
I think everything is a hindrance to her. I think she doesn't stand a chance, poor girl. But, you know, at the end of the day, she's probably going to win it.
Did you like that? Good. Okay, very quickly.
Poor timing.
Who do you think will go tomorrow?
Who do I think will go tomorrow?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that it could be... Oh, God, this is very difficult. I think it could be Jasmine.
And I think Liz.
You think Liz?
Oh, actually,
I don't know. It could be anybody's game. As far as I'm concerned, it's human beings leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. All in unison, who do you think should go? Everybody. Okay, still to come. We'll be checking out all the latest from the house. But first, someone very special is coming to play.
I did my hair.
Welcome back to Bit on the Side, the show that loves talking about nominations but never seems to get any. But who needs the Golden Globes when you've got TV Gold like this? At 12:46, the housemates' desperation reached a new level after Louisa's teabag recycling incident. Ollie took things one step further in I can't say this word, forage for food.
And I wonder...
What did you do now?
Mate, there are crusts at the bottom of that. Okay, I don't want to alarm anyone, but there is 3 crusts in the bottom of the toaster, like small little bits. We can share them.
Well, how exciting, Lolly.
Delicious. No, not delicious. Hideous.
Ollie! What would your mother say? Don't let her catch you doing that at home. Oh, come on. At 2:20 this afternoon, Louisa's newfound rebellious spirit reared its ugly head again as she whipped up her fellow housemates into talk of a revolution, although Ollie was more worried about being seen in Daffy's clothes when they took over.
Everyone knows they voted for that fucking curry and they wanted us to eat the slop. It's not a fucking democracy. What I'm about to create is a fucking democracy. We are the democracy. Let's stand tall. Raise your hands in the air and say, we are the democracy. We are the democracy.
I'm unaware of what's happening here. I don't know. I'm dressed like an idiot.
Hey, that's not nice. You trying to think Daffy dresses
No,
like an
I love
idiot?
it. No. Don't you try and stir.
Less of an Arab Spring, more of a Chelsea winter wardrobe. And finally, at 4:01 this afternoon, the past couple of days came to a dramatic close as Big Brother revealed the results of this week's shopping test.
The democracy is not as fair as it appeared. The decider's personal opinions have dictated how life in the house has played out these past 2 days. It is now time for the democracy to make one final vote. And this time, for the first time, everyone's vote counts. And this time, it's the only vote which matters, as the entire shopping budget rides on the outcome. Housemates are not permitted to discuss this vote. Housemates must remain silent until the result is revealed. So, which housemate has been secretly in control of the votes? Who's been playing you all along? Who amongst you is the decider? The democracy should vote now. The democracy has voted, and they believe that the decider is Jim. The real decider should now stand up.
Oh, no. Grey fucking slop, really?
Oh, there's a story behind that one.
Well, and they didn't tell
Housemates therefore identified Jim as the decider, and therefore Jim has failed his secret mission. Housemates will live on basic rations.
Jim failed in his mission to be unseen, much like his latest DVD. That's the end of the news. It is eviction night tomorrow, and I need a +1 to come and join me in the orbit, so here are all the numbers you need. This week, Jasmine, Jim, Liz and Louisa all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 644 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Jasmine, add 04. For Jim, add 05. For Liz, add 09. For Louisa, add 10. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Wednesday's eviction show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/BB Vote. We're in BBI. I love this graphic that you've got. Although the screen's just gone blank.
At the very moment.
Perfect timing.
Your finger caused a crash. Thank you.
I know, I'm sorry. That's the power I hold, Toby.
Very much so.
Yeah. What's been happening in our lovely box?
Well, we've noticed a lot of relationships in the house, obviously. However, we think we can help with one particular relationship.
Yes.
We noticed the other day in a pile of vegetables some very happy red peppers together, but one sad, lonely yellow pepper.
Yeah.
If you know of a yellow pepper to join this yellow pepper, Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, #Lonely Pepper, to give this little pepper a little bit of love.
Is that what you do in here? See, I'm thinking you have all these screens, all this technology, you are communicating with the outside world, watching the housemates, letting everyone know what's going on, but really you're just making pictures.
We're looking for lovelorn vegetables.
peppers.
Yeah, that's what we do generally. However,
Do you have anything housemate related?
we do actually.
Good.
We have an exclusive chat with Rylan. We've discussed democracy, the political system, as well as the task, and he revealed his answers to the questions that housemates were set. He also reveals a few insights into the house, such as what happens when you have pizza with the housemates. Do they share, or does someone hog and hoover up all pizza
When
to
who
themselves?
has pizza?
Well, when the housemates get pizza.
Oh, I thought you meant like Ryland's going in to have pizza with them.
No, not tonight.
Oh, right.
Not tonight. Maybe another night. You never know. No,
I
what
want
happens
to go and have pizza with them.
with the house?
Yeah.
What flavour? What flavour?
I would, pepperoni all the way.
Who do you think would take most of the slices out of the housemates?
I don't know.
It's a tough question, isn't it?
Should
and
we stop
we
talking about
tackle
food
that.
and talk slightly
Sorry.
more about housemates?
And finally, we have Sarah Millican
Yes.
has used a photo of Lionel Blair in sunglasses
The very fabulous comedian.
to denote if you're going to look good, you got to look this good to stay cool. That was from today. Dappy and
That
Ollie
is
were
an
dressing
awesome
up.
picture.
Dappy and Ollie were dressing up. Lionel thought he'd chip in as well.
Have we had any other messages?
Do you know what? That's the best one. I don't want to kind of have anything else getting in its way. I think it really deserves to stand there by itself. Sarah Millican, have a cool day. Look like Lionel Blair with some Elvis shades.
It is Sarah Millican as well, so I think that's a pretty good one to have if we're going to have one. And I love how smart you look this evening,
Thank you
Toby.
very much.
You're welcome. Tomorrow is eviction night, so Ryland's going to be holding court, and it's a good job as well because I don't think I could handle the combined glamour of X Factor contestant Shelley Smith, I'm a Celeb's Joe Swash, and the one and only Lauren Harries.